Hey everybody, you're watching a physio named Jonah. That's this guy. I'm a physiotherapist who likes talking about football, injuries, and those two things together. But I don't like injuries themselves. I don't get excited when a player goes down on the field or when someone gets hurt and comes to my clinic. I get a little bit interested, but earlier this week, Trey Lance suffered a very unfortunate early ending to his season when he injured his ankle against the Seattle Seahawks in the 49ers game on Sunday. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what the injury that he went through was, what this means for him now, as well as what the road to recovery looks like, of course, because I am a physiotherapist. That is my world. Trey Lance, quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, underwent surgery this past Monday to repair a fracture as well as possible dislocation that happened to his ankle in Sunday's game. The camera angle that we have makes it tough to see exactly what the injury was, but it looks like it happens right here when Lance's ankle gets stuck beneath him as his body comes down backwards after being tackled by the Seahawks group of defenders. What I will say is now that we know more about what the injury was and what the surgical process was, we can reverse engineer the injury a little bit to understand what happened. Lance fractured his distal fibula as part of this injury. The fibula is the bone on the outside of the shin, or the side furthest away from the middle of the body, and you can see the end of the fibula, or the lateral malleolus, as the bump on the side of your ankle. The reports that I read mentioned ligament damage as well, but did not specify which ones, so I think it's fair to assume they were the ligaments attaching to the same bone that was fractured. So if we take that information, it makes it very likely that Lance's ankle got trapped underneath of him. When it rolled, his fibula was exposed, putting stress onto the ligaments and causing the fracture as the force came down on top of the ankle. As I was writing this script together, I was researching some articles, different reports on what the surgery was like, so that I could have a better idea for making this video. As part of this process, I checked out another YouTube video made by a certain sports medicine doctor on this exact injury. I found this video actually very helpful in terms of framing things, but quick aside, is it insane to anybody else how freaking good looking these YouTube doctors are? I thought physios were supposed to be a pretty athletic, decent looking population of professionals, and here I am looking at these YouTube doctors thinking, I'm doing our profession a massive disservice. I'm thinking that in order to keep up with these really handsome YouTube doctors, I need to be doing more. I need to really bring the handsome out in this channel. I need to try and boost the sex appeal of the physio named Jonah brand. And I know just how to do it. Trey Lance's fracture, as well as the ligament tearing that was present, required surgical stabilization in order to repair the issue. This means that his season is over, as the post-surgical rehab is going to take the entirety of this season. This injury is similar, not the same, but similar to the ankle injury that Dak Prescott had a few years ago. Now, it lacked the dramatic ankle turn that Prescott's had, but it's similar in terms of a possible ankle dislocation, as well as significant ligament damage requiring surgery. With all that in mind, everyone around the team seems to be really confident that they're going to have Lance back for the start of next season. And you know what? They should be. Having almost a full calendar year to heal up from a surgery and injury like this is absolutely doable. The first few weeks of the process will all just be about bringing the swelling down and letting the tissues heal up, getting some gentle movements going, nothing too crazy. After this, they gradually increase the movement that the ankle is doing, making sure to not aggravate anything as they move along. Once the swelling has died down and there's enough movement in the ankle to really start pushing it, the real rehab and training for next season begins. The really important part of rehab for Lance is the late stages of rehab. Once the swelling is down, pain is down, range of motion is near fully restored, that's when they get to reintroduce impact, movement, train strength, proprioception, really push the ankle to get it back ready for what he's going to see in in-game action. Exercises to retrain strength, proprioception, balance, make sure that Lance has his confidence back in that ankle are crucial as he gets ready for next season. Let's talk about what to expect for Trey Lance moving forward. Now, obviously his season in 2022 is over, so that's easy. The team is expecting him to complete the majority of his rehab at the team's facility in the Bay Area, which from a rehab side of things is really good. The more that he can be around the team, engaging in mental reps, not missing out on the experience of being an NFL quarterback in terms of mental preparation, that's going to be really important for keeping him engaged and not losing out on this year entirely. As for next season, now that's going to be interesting for a few reasons. The first reason it'll be interesting, will Lance run the ball with the same sort of confidence and athleticism that he did back in college and he was already starting to do early in his NFL career? Remember Dak Prescott that I brought up earlier? After his ankle injury, his amount of running significantly decreased, and he's been much more of a pocket passer who can scramble as opposed to more of a hybrid quarterback. This likely will be more difficult for Lance though, because running wasn't as big a part of Prescott's game as it is Lance's. They really rely on his athleticism to open things up in the passing game because of how gifted he is as a runner. Early on next season, I really wouldn't be too surprised to see Lance hesitant to run the ball up the middle like that again, even more hesitant on scrambling in general, so seeing how this impacts his play overall is going to be really interesting. One of the biggest hurdles for athletes beyond physical rehab is the mental rehabilitation side of injuries. It's easy to think about the tissues getting damaged when we have an injury, but remember there's a human being on the other side of that injury. Regaining confidence and believing in yourself to go back out there and stress a tissue in the same way that caused massive injury before is really difficult, and this is a factor that we have to keep in our minds as athletes get back to full participation. The second thing I'll be interested in is, what are the 49ers going to do at the quarterback position? I mean, if they have another deep run with Jimmy G at the helm, do they still go back to Lance next season? I know they drafted Lance to be the guy and paid Jimmy to be the backup, but I mean, winning does crazy things in the NFL. Who knows? Anyway, I think that's enough for today's video, including all the hat wearing and shirt changing that went on. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you have any further questions about Lance's injury, things moving forwards, feel free to drop them in the comments section below for me. I check those regularly and I look forward to chatting with you there. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that subscribe button down below so you're notified when I release more videos like this later in the season. You can also hit that thumbs up button. Both of those things help my channel reach more interested viewers like yourself, and again, I really do appreciate the support. But most importantly though, guys, as always, it's better. Move your body, have a laugh today, and I will see you at the next video. Also go to Zion, it's really cool.